Pinterest is great, yet if you're not using it effectively, then you won't see the results that you're hoping for. This video is for you if you're wondering how to actually get found on Pinterest and how you can get a workflow in place so that it fits in with all your other business tasks. I am really excited to dive in and share with you the exact pinning workflow that I use for all my clients. It's been changed and evolved over the time of running other people's Pinterest accounts, but I feel like it's finally at the place where the results are there, yet the workflow and efficiency is also there. Hey, my name is Hannah. Welcome back. If you are new here, I help business owners show up consistently and wholeheartedly to their audience without the overwhelm. Now, let's dive into today's video, but first I just wanted to say if you don't know anything about Pinterest or you want to get a Pinterest profile set up, then my previous video actually walks you through the keys to setting up your Pinterest account and getting a solid foundation before you start this workflow. So you've got to have the strong foundation in place before you can implement this workflow. So let's dive in. The first week, I basically batch, because I have quite a few clients, I batch in weeks. So these are just the tasks I do and the order that worked for me. However, you can take these tasks and you could batch weeks 1 and 2 together and weeks 3 and 4 together. So it's really up to you. You could even do all of these tasks in one day on the first of every month or something like that. So it is flexible and it can be suited to your business. However, this is just what I use because it works for me, my time, my business, my clients. So the first week, what I do is I go in and I create an analytics report. If you aren't looking at your analytics, you need to be, because that will help you drive future content. It helps you know what's popular. It helps you see what is getting clicked on, and it just helps you know if your Pinterest strategy is working. So that's the first thing. I create an analytics report. Then from that analytics report, I create some alternative images. So these are ones that I create. I personally use Canva to create them, and there's some great templates you can get on places like Creative Market. And so I create these images for the clients based on what is popular. So I have a look at their top 3 to 5 pins that got the most clicks. So this is their content, the most clicks. And so then what I do is I create images and pin images for those blog posts. So for example, if it was a Joshua Tree elopement that was really popular, I would go onto that blog, grab some images from that, put it in a Pinterest template, and then get it on Pinterest. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting the analytics report, I'm creating new content based on what's already working. And then I'm also doing some manual pinning, so just getting in their group boards, pinning some content, maybe adding in those alternative images to a few of their boards, that kind of thing. Just some general manual pinning. So that's the first week. The second week, I then do a few things. So the first thing I do is I put all their content into drafts in Tailwind. So in that process, I am putting in a Pinterest title that is keyword friendly, and I'm then using a pin description to put in there. So the pin description, you want to include things like if location's relevant, you want to include what it's actually about. So if it's a blog post, include what you're going to be talking about. You want to be including keywords. You want to be including your business name. And you also want to be including some hashtags in there. I usually put about 4 to 5 hashtags. Now, at this time, that's about how much you should do, but Pinterest is always changing, so make sure you research a good amount of hashtags to put in there. And so then I'm saving that. So what basically I'm doing in week 2 is I'm getting all the content, putting it in drafts so that it's ready for the next week. Now, like I said, you could do weeks 2 and 3 together because they do work well. I just space them out because of the different clients that I have, and that just works well for me. So that's what you want to do. You want to put all your content all your content, not other people's for the moment. You're just focusing on your content. So new blog posts, new portfolio images, new alternative images that you made in week 1. You're putting all of that into your drafts, and you're creating the descriptions and the keywords, making sure they all have a URL. So that's what you're doing. Then you're adding those to tribes. Now, if you don't know anything about Tailwind tribes, you can use the link below. I have a full workshop on Pinterest and that dives kind of deeper into this strategy. However, basically a tribe is like a community of like-minded business niches, and you pin each other's content within Tailwind tribes. So I add the content to the tribes. Then what I do is I save all of that and I leave it for next week. And then I go in and just do some general manual pinning. In week 3, I then schedule out those drafts. So the way I do it is I go their business board first, then I do their other boards, then I do their group boards. And I also add to tribes again. So that's what that process looks like. And I use the interval timer so that I am scheduling it out for the month ahead. So I'm always working ahead. And what I'm doing is I'm being strategic in it. So I might choose, on Monday this one goes out, on Tuesday this one goes out. And I make sure there's about a day in between each of the pins, because so you'll have you could have up to 20 boards that pin is going to. So you want to space it out through the month as well. So that's what that looks like. Week 3, it's all about scheduling out those drafts, putting them all to the relevant boards and group boards. And then that will all be in your Tailwind schedule. Then in the final week, I do growth tasks. So this does look different every month. And it's just based on what is working well for them, what I feel their account needs more of. So that could look like following a bunch of niche pinners within their relevant industry. It might look like doing some more manual pinning. It might look like adding in some new boards or tweaking up some board descriptions with some keywords that have come up in Pinterest lately. So it's just having a look at some things that you can do to actually grow your account a bit more. Or maybe joining new group boards or applying for new group boards, or whatever that looks like, and assessing that. And then what you also are going to do is you're going to schedule out other people's content for the month ahead. So you'll just go in, have a look at your boards, go to some key niche pinners, and just fill your Tailwind schedule so that you've got it kind of about a mixture of your content and other people's content. So I know that was a lot of information, but there are more Pinterest tips coming your way. So you can subscribe to this channel. I will be bringing out new episodes every single Monday. And thank you so much for watching.